Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having just a great morning today. I know I'm having a good morning. I do want to address, before we get started, everyone, if you've been following us, you know Larry and Saucy. They are just two really great and amazing people who, we've supported them. They've supported us. They're just really good people. Just doing their show for just the love of it. Well, Saucy's sister passed away, so we want to make sure that we keep them in our prayers, because they've become part of our family here, and we want to make sure that we keep all these good people in our prayers. So reach out to them if you have comm with them, or just go on one of their videos, like their video, watch it, and just give them a nice comment and say that we're all praying for them. So that's the big thing that I'd like to talk about today. Well, right off the bat. But there's a few other things I want to get to. Let me get that. Because there are some stories today. Yesterday was a very thin day. The last couple days have been very thin for stories, but today there's actually some really good stories. But I really want to talk about this one to start off. So let me get this up and moving for us, because this one is another one of these videos where we're going to be discussing VA disability, and Caleb Hammer has gotten on this, and I get very frustrated with him. Well, before I get into that, let me go ahead and welcome everyone. So we have Greg of Scotland, who is here first. Good morning, Greg. We've got Cinder, who's here. Good morning. Hellhound, who's here. Good morning. Stacy Woodson is here. We have Baby Girl. She is here. Hey, bestie. We have who else? Am I missing somebody? Voss. Voss is here. Good morning, Voss. All right. I still feel like I'm missing someone. So if I miss you, let me know. Yeah, a prayer. Say prayers for Georgie's mom. Georgie's mama is having surgery done today, so we will pray for her as well. So, yeah, we'll get to this here because I get very, very frustrated. And there are veterans who feel this way. And that's what gets so frustrating.
Okay, allow me to ask, and I do not know the answer to this. I hope it is right. You were just a cook, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Nothing else? What's your disability rating?
80%.
Okay. Damn it.
What's wrong with it? Are you saying a cook from the military can't be 80% rated? Is that what you're saying? Hey, Caleb, I will tell you, I had cooks that worked for me in Afghanistan. They went outside the wire. They went on convoys. We don't even really use cooks that way anymore. What they do is they oversee the chow halls. We bring in contractors. They oversee and make sure that they're upkeeping standards. That's their primary job nowadays. Rarely do we actually have cooks cooking in the field anymore. But that's an important job. A very important job. But to you, it's not?
It makes me look so anti-veteran because they just clip it. They clip it. I am.
Because you are anti-veteran. This is anti-veteran. You're saying that his job was not important. You're saying that there's no way he could have gotten 80%.
So I am very positive veteran, and I just want to get rid of fraud so we can properly fund it going forward and take.
What fraud? He never explains the fraud. Just because this guy's a cook, he can't get 80%. This is what frustrates me so much. The government has set up this system, okay? And I have there's very few veterans I know who have not been denied a condition by the VA. Very few. And the government sets up this system where, do you guys know, a veteran can't even go into the VA. Can't even go in unless you're 30% disabled. They're not even going to look at you. You're not going to get VA health care unless you're 50% disabled. Your family can't go to the VA unless you're 100% disabled. And guess what? Even then, it's not a foregone conclusion. You have to go through all these steps to get your family into the VA. Like, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, this stuff. I just was talking with a veteran the other day. He bought a home. He just got his 100%, and now he's trying to get where part of his property taxes won't be charged anymore. But guess what? That only comes if you're 100%. Why? Are you telling me that only 100% disabled veterans earned it? What about all the people who've been jacked around? I know a guy. He goes to my parents' AMVETS. He was a POW in Vietnam. He was a POW. In 1980, he made his VA claim. He was denied his VA claim. It was on appeal for 30 years. He got it in 2022 or 2023. The government had to give him $2.1 million. Now, I've seen people in Caleb's comments call veterans like that welfare queens. That guy didn't have that money for most of his life, and now he's old. My parents called me, and he asked, what should I do with it? I was like, do you have kids? No. I said, are you and your wife still able to travel? Yeah. I said, buy yourself an RV. Do all the traveling that you can. Do everything that you've ever wanted to do with this money. That's what I would do if I were you. I would make that bucket list and start checking things off. But it took 40 years. That is how the VA screws over veterans. But this guy's a cook. This guy's a cook. He's got 80%. He's a fraudster.
care of those who need it. 80%.
At least I'm not on. At least I'm not the one.
A positive veteran, and I just want to get rid of fraud so we can properly fund it going forward and take care of those who need it. 80%.
At least
that right there is 100% false. The fact that, and I hear veterans say this, the fact that, oh, well, I'm not going to put in a claim because those who to be taken away from those who need it. That is not at all how it works. That is not at all how it works. This is part of our mandatory spending. It's no different than Social Security, no different than what's the other, Medicare. No different than those. It's not budgeted. It's mandatory spending. If people don't want to pay pay the military and the veterans, how about you get rid of the military? Because I'll tell you, this country has a long history of fucking over its veterans. A long history of it. I'll tell you why I do not like General MacArthur, and a lot of people, because of my last name, they call me MacArthur. I don't like General MacArthur because in 1928, during the height of the Depression, the veterans marched on Washington wanting their pension benefits. And do you know what General MacArthur did? He went in there with tanks. Several veterans died. All because they were like, hey, look, I've sacrificed my body. I sacrificed my stuff for this country. I just want, I'm not asking for a ton. No one is getting rich off the VA. No one is getting rich off the VA. If you get 100%, you're going to get about $4,000 tax-free a month. Ooh. You realize that's like the poverty line. So if you can't work, you're living at the poverty line of this country. If you're married, you're below the poverty line. MacArthur went in with tanks. Several veterans died, and they cleared them out. They were just there protesting peacefully. That's why I'm not a big fan of General MacArthur. Not at all. Because he's turned his back on his brothers. Right when they needed it the most. And the government, here's the thing, the government could compensate veterans. But instead, the VA spends most of its time fighting veterans. They just lost another court case. I am now I've given my stuff to be a part of a class action lawsuit because the VA, when people were doing appeals up until from like 1991 till 2018, they were getting all of these appeals and just nope, denied. Wasn't at all how that was supposed to work. Yeah, here's another thing, you guys. I get so many veterans I've talked to Marines. They're like, I'm going to get 100%. I'm like, what makes you say that? Oh, my knees are messed up. My hips messed up. I'm like, yeah, you're going to get 20%. Musculoskeletal stuff, if you are not physically in a wheelchair, you're getting 20%. I know guys who have to walk every single day with a cane. Their knees, multiple surgeries, they're getting 20%. You think that's fair? You can't walk because of your military service. Cannot walk, cannot run. And they're going to give you $200 a month. Yay! What a fraudster, right? Go fuck yourself, Caleb.
At least I'm not the ones that come on the show and are like 100% doing all with their life. I'm trying to do something.
This guy, he has now shamed this guy to where now this guy is attacking his fellow veterans. Exactly. The VA would rather veterans kick the bucket so they don't have to pay them. At least that's what I see. Yes, 22 veterans a day. 22 a day take their own lives. And a lot of it, I have yet to find a veteran. There's been a couple who were like, did 20 years and they get their 100% right off the bat. But if you get out and you haven't made a claim, immediately after getting, or like right before you got out, you're likely not going to get your 100%. Very likely. You're going to get denied things. So there's one veteran who's been on this show, was just denied plantar fasciitis. The only thing they accepted of this veteran stuff was tinnitus. Denied them plantar fasciitis. And guess what? Why did they deny it? Because there were a whole bunch of other knee, back, hip, all these other problems for walking. Because if they accept the plantar fasciitis, which happens to almost all veterans, if they accept years of wearing boots and hiking, yeah, you're going to get plantar fasciitis. I don't care if you're a cook. I don't care if you're in the band. You're walking in boots every single day. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And guess what? Denied, because if you accept that one, then you got to accept all the other things. Because, hey, plantar fasciitis changes the way that you walk. It changes your gait. Now your knees hurt because your knees are trying to adjust. Now your hip hurts because your hip's trying to adjust to your knees. Now your back hurts. Your ankle bone's connected to your leg bone. Your leg bone's connected to your hip bone. Your hip bone's connected to your backbone. That's how this works. It's not in a vacuum. I was denied. I was denied. I had to appeal. My appeal took years. They had to pay me back pay. I got something like $8,000 in back pay. So if that's fraud, why does the government always have to pay? Why do they always have to accept it and then give back pay? And guess what mine was for? Musculoskeletal. Because they did accept one of my foot conditions, but they denied all the other stuff. Guess what? You can't do that. You can't do that. I can't run anymore. I just can't. If I run more than a mile, okay? And I'm talking running, not jog, running. If I run more than a mile, I will hobble for days. I used to be a runner. But guess what? The military, it takes a toll on your life. People don't realize when you go in the military, you are signing a contract and the government gets to use and abuse your body. Tell the military to stop making these stupid decisions, like forcing everyone to get the COVID vaccine. You don't think you don't think the veterans are going to have myocarditis and that's going to be the next big thing that you, the American taxpayer, have to pay? Yes. And you made this agreement. You made this agreement. Get rid of the military if you don't like it. Guess what? You're going to have to pay for this stuff because people's lives were affected. There are people who, I don't have a combat action ribbon. There are veterans who will say, I don't deserve 100%. They can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck themselves. Because the thing is, I wasn't there when my kid was born. I was sitting in I was trying to watch on FaceTime in a sandstorm. You tell me my life wasn't affected? Really? I was exposed to burn pits. Burn pits. You realize burn pits are against U.S. law. But Congress didn't want to fund a proper incinerator. They did, but they paid for the incinerator, but they didn't want to pay for the parts to maintain it. So guess what? After a year, the incinerator was broke. When my unit showed up to our camp, there was no incinerator, no plan to fix it. So guess what? You dig a pit and you start burning all the trash. And that means things get thrown into the trash. Lithium batteries, you think burning those is smart? You don't think those chemicals get in the air? And what else does the VA do? The VA, oh, you have hypertension. They looked at me and they were like, yeah, you have hypertension. So we're going to give you meds. And even though I'm on the meds and I still even with the meds still have hypertension, well, the meds make it better. So we're going to reduce your rating from 30% down to 10%. So we don't have to pay you because we've given you meds. Yet what happens when the meds don't work? Because that happens too. Oh, yeah, it's going to take months for them to change that rating. You got to do a whole new claim or an appeal. But they'll reduce you in a heartbeat. And now, guess what? With Congress a few years ago, they were like, yeah, we're going to do the PAC Act. And we're going to give all the people exposed to burn pits and all this stuff. We're going to give them all this help, right? Okay, now, if you were exposed to burn pits or if you were a part of Gulf War syndrome, you're going to get your claim immediately approved. What did the VA turn around and want to do? What did they want to do immediately? And I had all these veterans sending me panic things. Oh, hey, we're going to change the VA schedules. So now your COPD that you were getting 60% for, we're going to reduce that down to 30. Your hypertension, we're going to reduce that down to 20. Because now they have to pay. So the VA schedules, those don't have to go in front of Congress. The VA just has to notify people that they're doing it, and then it just goes in front of the committee. It doesn't go through the full body of Congress. But a lot of veterans were like, and I got some who were panicked. I was like, you need to read everything about it. I've looked into it. I am grandfathered in because my claims have already been done. This is for the people who have not done claims yet. But guess what? The VA jerking people around. If you've denied someone a claim and now they've got to put in a new claim, they're not going to get it. That's how they fuck you over. But instead, no, we got Caleb calling everyone fraudsters with no proof of anything other than this guy here being 80% and he was a cook. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this guy has, he's probably got PTSD, most likely 70%. Because if you've had any physical reaction to PTSD, if you have had suicidal ideations, which is very common, you don't think someone going through boot camp has suicidal ideations? It's a rough thing. It really is. He's probably got 70%. Then he's probably got another 10 to 20% for hearing loss tinnitus. The PACT Act seemed like a good thing at first, but it's challenging to say. It will get your stuff service connected. It will get accepted. But it doesn't help when the VA then lowers what they're paying everyone. They lower the percentage. And now something that would have gotten you, over 50%, and now you get VA healthcare. Yeah, now we're going to lower it to 30. And now you don't get it. Yay. Thank you, VA. Why are all these people so incensed on having the VA be adversarial to veterans? Why do we even have VA hospitals? Just give them to Health and Human Services. We should have federal hospitals. Oh, you're on Medicaid? Walk into the local federal hospital. But instead, they tell veterans like me, it takes me over an hour to drive to Loma Linda. That's my VA hospital. I would have to drive an hour to go in there. And you guys saw I did lives when they were jerking me around about just getting eyeglasses. Why do I have to drive an hour to get eyeglasses? I'm in community care. My ophthalmologist is right here, 5 minutes from my house. I went in, did a checkup. He said, yep, here's your prescription. Hasn't changed really much, but it's changed enough. He was like, I would recommend you getting these glasses for driving and these glasses here for reading. Don't really need them, but he's like, you're going to need them. So guess what? I can't just put in my prescription and say, I like these ones. These, I can't even do there where they have tons of glasses and where they could be like, here's the ones that the VA pays for and try them on. I like these ones. Give them to me. Can't do that. I have to drive all the way to Loma Linda for that. Why? Because the VA is trying to justify its budget. It's trying to justify keeping its workers. Just give all those hospitals over to Health and Human Services. Give them all. If a veteran, hey, I've got VA healthcare. The VA has said, okay, Okay, yeah, go to the Health and Human Services, fill out these forms. There you go. You're all set. Or give me a VA health card, which I do have. Right now, if I have a problem, you know what the VA tells me to? Go to the ER or urgent care. They'll pay for that. That's how I do it. I just walk into the ER. Don't pay a dime. And I'll tell you this. There's a lot of veterans who would probably stop making claims if their family, if you said, hey, really, I don't get why any veteran just can't walk into the VA and get care. I don't understand that. If you did 4 years honorable discharge, why do I have to be 50% disabled before I get health care? Why? Someone explain that to me. Why do I have to prove I'm hurt before you will pay for me to be seen on shit that you did to me? Right? Yeah, because the percentages are so arbitrary. You know why? If you have knee problems, you're only getting 20%? Because everybody who leaves the military has knee problems. So they lower how much you have to pay because they don't want to have to pay. It's common? Okay, yeah, we're going to lower it. How does that make sense? This is ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. The way they do things. And then I get people who come to me, who I live in this. This is my life. I live in this. I help veterans every single day, trying with their claims, trying to help them get better medical care. But yet, I got civilians who want to tell me how it is. Well, my uncle's a veteran. I don't give a fuck. You're not a veteran. You don't live it, so you don't know. Don't tell me what it's like. I literally live it.
Thing with my life.
Buddy, your entire life is Discord. I was just typed this. Apparently, the moment you finished the onboarding video, you're like scratching and you ran out of the door, which no one does. Everyone waits for the producer to come back in. You ran out of the door so you could get your phone so you could get into Discord.
Little bit.
What's the problem with that? What's the problem with that, Caleb? Everyone has their things. Everyone has their things. But he's getting to be like, he's doing all these veterans, and he's doing all these videos with veterans, and every veteran I know, TC hasn't, but you should be doing a VA claim. Look at everything that AVA has been through. He's got TBI. He's been hospitalized. The VA fucking doctor is not licensed, does not hold a medical license, because the VA employs doctors who can't get licensed. Explain that one to me. She then goes through his Facebook and tries to say that he's a danger to people because he plays airsoft. There's a lot of veterans. Look at Spawn Trooper. Spawn Trooper plays video games to deal with his PTSD. I don't knock him for that. I understand. There's a lot of veterans who need to do stuff like that. Just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it doesn't work for them. And like I tell people, find what works for you. But yet, the VA, I could bring veterans on who will tell you that the VA only wanted to prescribe them painkillers. Only wanted to, wouldn't treat them, wouldn't give them the surgery they needed. Just, nope, here's opiates. Take these. This is how we're going to treat you. And then when they get addicted, then say, we're not going to help you because you have drug-seeking behavior. You did that, VA. Right, Greg? Right? Yeah. They denied my knee issues, but have me going to PT twice a week for my... Yeah, this is the type of insanity. Because the VA healthcare is separate from VA claims. You're dealing with only bureaucrats. Bureaucrats, they're denying conditions so they can justify their jobs. How about that fraud? Caleb. How about that fraud? How about we take a look at that? And now the VA's got AI going through all of our claims. Why? So they can deny claims. Is AI working for YouTube? No. But you're going to call veterans fraud based on nothing. Based on nothing. I swear to God, it pisses me off. Because, and no one wants to fix it. No one, they want to complain about it. But Caleb, where are you doing anything for veterans to help us fix it? Right? Right, Cinder? Cinder, we do need to do a gaming stream. We should talk about games that I should play. I got to do another Hello Kitty Island adventure.
Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
But yeah, all these people who don't know jack shit about the VA all want to jump in and say, oh, well, this is what's happening. Why? Because someone got money from the government and you don't like it? If you told veterans, hey, you're 100%, we'll give you your 100% disability, but you have to give, let's say, 200 hours of community service a year, they'll be the first ones to line up and say, fuck yeah, I'll do that. I will absolutely do that. What do you need me to do? You need me to pick up trash? How about I go work in my local government filing papers? I'll do that. And they will. When the veterans, you want veterans to stop school shootings? Put some veterans in the schools. Let them go in there armed. Trust me. Trust me, they will take care of those school shootings. Yeah. Why is the VA trying to save money? And I get people all the time. Did the VA give you your service dog? No, they don't give service dogs. That was a nonprofit. Nonprofits bridge the gap. And guess what? There's a lot of nonprofits out there. We can't help you unless you're 100% disabled. Why? Why? That's how a lot of these places are. You got to be 100% disabled. I was talking with a veteran. He was like, well, I'm trying to get special military compensation. I need 160% total disability. I looked into the stuff. It says you need to have 100% condition plus a 60% condition. Do you know how hard it is to get 100% condition? You have to be suicidal with attempts for PTSD. If you haven't attempted, you're not getting 100% PTSD. It's just not happening. My PTSD, which has been severe, only 50%. I only got 50% for it. And I didn't know what I was doing when I started making my claims. Now, that's most of what I do. When I talk to veterans, I talk to them about, okay, you're going to go talk to a veteran service officer. Here's the things you need to talk to them about as I talk to them about their conditions. And I just helped one guy who was like, oh, well, I don't even know if I can put in for everything. For everything's great. 76-year-old Vietnam veteran. And then I start talking to him. I'm like, okay, well, does this ever hurt? Yeah. Oh, yeah, all the time. Well, then you're not okay. Like, has this ever happened? Oh, yeah, that's happened. Do you have insomnia? Yeah, I got bad insomnia. Yeah, then you have PTSD. Number one symptom of PTSD, insomnia. Right, AVA? And the fact that we have VA doctors like your doctor who can't even get a license making decisions on your health care. Like that should be a crime. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Well, here's the thing. even if it's not service related. This is where this stuff comes in. And I've heard people, oh, that guy's a fraud. Okay, why? Because they had that condition beforehand. I knew him beforehand. He had that condition. Guess what? If your military service made your condition worse, it's service connected. And I've known people who came into the military with conditions, it made it worse. Stop screwing over veterans. And yeah, if and Caleb doing this without anything, no proof of anything, but saying that there's fraud, accusing people of fraud because he's a cook. I can tell you right now, I had a group of Marines who went on a convoy. They came back, and I was talking with them, and they were debriefing me about the convoy, and they were talking about getting shot at. And I said, and it was from AK-47s, which is a 7.62 no, I know I'm screwing this up. 7.62 round. So it can pierce armor piercing rounds. And I asked them, did you return fire? And they said no. I was like, well, that sucks. And they were like, why? I was like, because had you guys shot back, or just one guy in your vehicle shot back, I could be putting you all in for a combat action ribbon. Guess what? 2 of those guys, cooks. The other one was an aircraft maintenance mechanic. Does it mean that their convoy was less dangerous? Nope. Yeah, just give all veterans community care. Let us choose. Just do it the way you did Obamacare. Hey, if you're a veteran, okay, yeah, you get to choose from these plans. You get to choose from these healthcare plans. Pick the one that's right for you and your family. Okay, I'll pick this one. Now I can go to a local doctor. Simple, right? We do it in another area of government. Nope, VA we need hospitals. Why? Sell them all to Health and Human Services. Hey, all the people right now that work for the hospital, yeah, you now work for Health and Human Services. You're still a GS employee. You still get all your benefits. Nothing changes. But who would that hurt? That would hurt all the bureaucrats who are in the claims process. All the pencil pushers creating the red tape, saving their jobs. There's a couple other stories I want to get to, but I wanted to talk about that one. Disney cruise ship staffers among 28 arrested in massive child porn operation. Families hoping to make memories on a cruise were unknowingly surrounded by alleged child predators working aboard the ships, according to law enforcement officials. U.S. Customs and Border Protection boarded live cruise ships, including a Disney cruise docked in San Diego, April 23rd and 25th, as part of ongoing child exploitation material enforcement operations. Who could have seen this coming? After boarding the vessels and interviewing 26 suspects, crew members from the Philippines, one suspected crew member from Portugal, and one from Indonesia, officers confirmed all subjects were involved in either the receipt, possession, transportation, distribution, or viewing of child sex exploitation materials or child pornography. CBP canceled their visas, and these criminals are being removed from our country, the spokesperson said. We have a zero-tolerance policy for this type of behavior and fully cooperated with law enforcement. These individuals are no longer with the company. Really? Because hey, Disney, you still have the guy in a dress with the beard employed at Disneyland? You didn't see this coming? You were caught. You were caught with your pants down, literally. I love Legoland. You know how Legoland, you guys realize I cannot go to Legoland. Most of you cannot go to Legoland. You cannot go to Legoland unless you have a child with you. That is one of the best things ever. Good on you, Lego. Good on you. Yeah, why do you, if you're an adult, why be at Legoland? Probably because you're emotionally stunted, like all these Disney adults, these fat ass Disney adults. These pieces of shit. Trust me, I went to Disney with my family. We were amazed. There was probably 4 huge fat people on fucking the little fucking Amigos in line. And what were they doing? Like taking up huge chunks of line because there's 4 of them, and they're stuffing their fat fucking faces while in line. They all have their snacks and shit. Yeah. No. But Disney is catering to these people. Disney is dying. They're dying, and they're doing it to themselves. I've talked about, I went in to build lightsaber with my son and my nephew. So me and my mom, we had 2 kids with us. Only one other kid. And there was like 20 to 30 people in there building lightsabers. Emotionally stunted adults. I'm sorry. For a lot of this stuff, no. It's ridiculous. Oh, the wrong button. UAB softball coach accused of abuse, racist remarks, inappropriate relationship with player staff. Near the end of April, UAB said that softball coach Taylor Smart was taking a step back from the program. A new report reveals why. According to a story published May 6 by Softball on Sports Illustrated, Smart had been accused of physical and mental abuse towards her players, making racist remarks, having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member and player, and the NCAA and Title IX violations. Smart has been away from the team since April 25th. The Blazers' season ended May 6th in Greenville, North Carolina, at the American Conference Tournament, where Tulsa walked off UAB for a 2-1 victory. UAB finished the season 21-33 in Smart's second season at the helm. According to SI, alleged misbehavior began when she took over the reins of the program in 2024. SI says it spoke to 10 people with ties to the softball program, including 4 current players, 4 parents, a former player, and a booster. Some of them spoke on the record, and SI obtained emails where complaints about Smart were documented. Taylor Smart has taken a step back from the program. We will make further comment when it's appropriate, a UAB spokesman told USA Today on Wednesday. We are committed to providing a safe, respectful, and positive experience for our student athletes. When concerns are brought to our attention, we take appropriate steps to investigate them. Employment matters are handled between institution and employees. People who spoke to SI allege a player walked in on Smart, Director of Player Operations Julie Money, and a teammate on a couch in the player's apartment in a compromising position. A complaint obtained by SI was filed, and the claims Smart maintains an inappropriately close relationship with a player and has slept over at the player's apartment. The people also allege Smart punched one of her players twice during a series at East Carolina in March. 4 current players told SI that Smart would threaten to loosen their buttholes with her fingers. Welcome to Awesome Dogs. Good to see you. French Psycho, good to see you too. I didn't say good morning to you. Smart also allegedly incorporated an off-season workout that required players to push assistant coach Anna Shellnut's Toyota 4Runner, then sprint ahead of it and stop it from moving. One player told SI that a teammate was nearly run over by the SUV while doing this. Smart also made players, including those who didn't know how to swim, tread water, according to the report. Another form of alleged physical punishment was forcing players to do somersaults for long periods of time for tardiness. Lindsay Dupree, mother of a former UAB player, said Smart referred to her daughter's hairstyle as jailhouse braids. She's manipulative and makes you second-guess your worth as a player, a friend, and just as a human, the player Auburn Dupree told SI. The player who spoke to SI also accused Smart of withholding food from players and reducing their meal plan per diem for road trips. I absolutely believe that what the parents and student athletes have said to be true, program booster Robert Ray told SI. I don't see any reason why they would make any of this up. I've seen these girls in pain. Other allegations against Smart outlined by SI include her exceeding practice time limits, falsely reporting practice as community service work, and entering the locker room while players were changing. Smart, a native of Troy, Alabama, was previously associate head coach at FAU. So, some very specific allegations in that, and I can tell you every single one of those things, just one of them, is enough to get you fired. Threatening players? Punching a player? My question is, why did it take so long? If these complaints were out there, why did it take so long? Yeah, that's the other thing. They don't mention the age, but if it was a male coach, oh, they'd definitely be mentioning the age. Absolutely, Cinder. Larry and Sansa are here? And see them. If they are, hey, we saw about Sansi's sister. Prayers going out to you guys. Heroes Chris, good morning. I'm just now seeing you. I'm catching up in all these chat messages, so I apologize. Anything else we should be talking about today? That's the big stuff. We got the big stuff taken care of. I'm trying to see. Is there stuff that's missing? Yeah, for some reason, some of the chats are not showing up. Sorry. They go after the softball coach, but Michigan head coach get his side piece pregnant and give her a job within the basketball program. Yeah, that was a payoff. Absolutely, that was a payoff. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. Like, I don't get why the NCAA is kissing Michigan's ass. Any other program has done what Michigan's done in the last 5 years, they would probably be facing the death penalty. And when I say death penalty, I mean the death penalty for sports. Loss of scholarships, loss of postseason play. But because it's Michigan, it's okay. There's a couple programs that are treated with kid gloves by the NCAA. Michigan, Notre Dame, probably the biggest two. I haven't seen his commercials. I've seen Two Awesome Dogs. I saw what he did in I saw what he did in the debate. But he's going to lose. It's LA. The people there are crazy. They're not voting for him. There's a very slim chance a Republican wins governor here in California. And the stars have to align. Is it close to happening? Very close. Will it happen? I doubt it. These people are nuts. There are people here voting for Katie Porter. That chick, literally, we saw her abusive treatment of her staff, and we know that she poured hot mashed potatoes on her ex-husband's head. Why would you ever vote for that person? When I first heard the story, I was like, oh, wow. That's really abusive. But, there's always the potential for it to be, that's reactive abuse, meaning that you're being abused and you react. Very, very big potential of that. So I was willing to give her the benefit of the argument. But then when you see her and the way she treats her staff, oh no, that woman's just straight up abusive. Why would anyone vote for that woman? And now they're finding out that Xavier Becerra, who's also running for California governor, he he's been employing illegal immigrants in his campaign. One good thing I will say is the FBI yesterday, they went into MacArthur Park. Did you guys see that? MacArthur Park in LA has been an open air drug den. And they finally, the FBI and police went in there and started making arrests. But then what did LA do? LA City Council last night or the night before now have told cops they can't pull over people for expired plates, can't pull over people for what's it? Can't pull them over for like like uh dinged windshields, turn signals, because pulling over people is racist. Oh, the NCAA definitely screwed over Riley Gaines. Absolutely, they did. Yeah, yeah, two awesome dogs. Notre Dame and Michigan can do whatever they want, and the NCAA is not going to do anything to them. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, yeah, an out tail light or blinker. Which, good morning, Ed. Ed, you need to watch the beginning of the show. We were talking about the VA. If you missed it, I apologize, but you will have to rewind. It's yeah. Are you so certain of what? Of what, some guy? You coming in here with your bullshit again? Yeah, we all know it's Dan. Dan who is like, oh, Skipper only trolls and talks about people. And then he comes in here, and then what does he do? He runs to the group where you think I won't see and posts about me. Mm-hmm. You're so brave. You're so brave. What a pussy. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. A Secretary of State should not be able to certify their own election. But they can. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now you have officials in Arizona coming forward saying that Katie Hobbs certified her own election illegally. Oh, yeah, you don't want to piss off Georgie and you don't want to piss off Stacy. The dude is just what kind of a guy? What kind of a guy is white knighting for a bunch of old women? Hey, some guy, give us an address where we can send you some lubricant because you're gonna need it with them. Except for Allison. Allison wants my D. It, I got to see those saggers though beforehand to know if I'm gonna jump on that. If I'm gonna jump on that grenade. Swing low, sweet chariot. Oh my god, that's funny. Uh, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end this. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you make sure you go to Heroes Chris and check out his channel. Just give him a sub. Also, go watch some of Georgie's videos. TC had some really good news on the update of the Jamie Lucas story. I was watching that yesterday. Go check it out. It's funny. It doesn't take, you don't have to be a big YouTuber to have an influence. When you start shining light onto this corruption, they'll start, it's like turning on a light when there's cockroaches. They start to scatter. And that's what's happening with that. So I'm really supporting TC with what he's doing with that. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey there, Veteran Nation fans. I am talking to you today because I have teamed up with a company that's dedicated to supporting veterans. What they do is they help you gather all the medical evidence that you're going to need to submit a VA disability claim. Now, it's all that is designed to help you get the benefits that you have earned. Right now, more than 17 million veterans don't have their full benefits. And if that sounds something familiar, either for yourself or a family member, now is the time to act. With this company, what they offer is free consultations with the medical team so they can figure out how they can best help you. And what they provide is board-certified doctors with experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical documentation for both physical and mental conditions, and the services that they provide include nexus letters, telehealth evaluations, DBQs, TDIU, aid and attendance, and so much more. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link that's in the description of this video and sign up for a free consultation. Make sure you do me a favor, share this, and also tag a veteran. Let's help more people get every single thing that they have earned.